Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. And so we're entering into a new chapter, 2024, some new faces up here. And so we're excited to get started on the work of the city. And I'm proud you guys have put your trust in us to take care of everyone. So with that, I'm going to call us to order. So the first order of business is we are going to have a prayer, if we can all stand to do the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. John Cahill from First Church is going to open us with prayer. Okay, Ms. Phyllis, will you call the roll, please?
Alderman Dale. Alderman Elder.
I'm here.
Alderman Langford.
Here.
Alderman Linder.
Here.
Alderman Proctor.
Here.
Alderman Rubel.
Here.
All present except Alderman Dale.
Okay, next, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our last meetings?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion. Okay, motion by Bill Linder and second by David Langford. Next on the agenda, sorry. Next, we have to vote to approve the minutes. All in favor? Aye. Say aye. All opposed? Like sign, motion passed. Next on the agenda are public comments. Okay, Mr. Lane.
My name is Ron Lane, and I'd just like to make sure that the board knows about a particular item. It's not on the agenda. I don't expect anything to be accomplished at all tonight, but just so that you guys decide on purpose, not by accident. I want to talk about Miller Street. If you know Miller Street is a one-block street, very small. It connects Evans to Daughtry. Right now, it has 13 homes on it. The Planning Commission has approved a subdivision that's going to be added to Miller Street. That's going to change it from 13 homes to 34 homes. Now, I'm sure everything is done properly in that subdivision. That's what the Planning Commission does. But the question that I want to put before the board is that I went out there and measured Miller Street in several places. The most narrow place I found was 16 feet wide. The widest place I found was 19 feet wide. If I read this map correctly, and I do not know if I'm doing it correctly, I think it is a 40-foot right-of-way. But I think that when you increase the people that live there and the traffic by 150%, you probably should take a look at a road that's only 16 feet wide and decide whether you want to leave it 16 feet wide, or do we want to make it wider, or do we want to make it one way, or just leave it like it is. But I'd just like the board to do it on purpose, whatever it is that you decide, before you end up with, what's 21 times 2? 42 more cars on that little street, and we haven't done anything beforehand to prepare for that. Any question? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lang. Okay, next, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Okay. There was no old business for this evening, so next we'll go on to new business, and we are going to go to the downtown revitalization, and I think that we have Ray Evans here to give us a report. And Shannon Cantrell, so whichever's going first.
Good evening. So several things to report. We have been working diligently over the last couple of weeks with the folks at TDOT on both of our pending construction projects, the Courthouse Plaza as well as East Broad and East Main Street. Getting real close on the Courthouse Plaza. We jumped a couple of hurdles in the last couple of days. Our consultants are actually preparing bid documents, so and the state has asked for stamped construction plans, so that tells me we're getting really close to being authorized to proceed with construction on the Courthouse Plaza. Cost has gone up a little bit. As it's known as the opinion of probable cost. Not much, but it's gone up a little bit, as you might imagine, over the last couple of years. Still in a reasonable range. We've had a little bit of delay on that project because in the final TDOT review, they decided that instead of having one handicap ramp on the entrance to the courthouse, we needed to have 2 handicap ramps. So, because we had a second ramp in the construction documents, that triggered a whole new historical review of the site to see if the second ramp had any effect on the historical nature of the building. And they have deemed that it does not, so that they're allowing us to move forward with that. The sidewalk project, last week or week before last, we got a fairly substantial surprise in that our consultant submitted a new statement of opinion of probable cost, and the cost has gone up significantly. So I sort of sent out a challenging email today to them to justify each of the items that had increased significantly. We'll get a response probably from them in the next day or so, and move forward. Mayor, I'll forward all that communication to you as well. It was a substantial increase, and it doesn't look reasonable to me. So, but we're working on that as we speak. We have a third TDOT project that has not yet been initiated, and that is the improvements to Cedar Street and Little Street between South Church and Spring. I reached out to, the first step for us is to select our engineering consultants for that project. And we've got to go through a process of sending out requests for qualifications. So I reached out to TDOT today to ask them to give us a list of what they call on-call consultants for local programs projects. I think there's 5 of them. And ask them if we could simply solicit requests for qualifications from those 5. I suspect that they're going to say yes, and if so, between now and your next meeting, we will go out and solicit those qualifications and probably have a recommendation for you at the next Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Mayor, do you want me to address the industrial park resolution while I'm standing up? We want to do that later? Okay. Unrelated to downtown revitalization, recall that the city was successful in getting a Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development, what's called a site development grant, a few months ago. And that is for doing what's called due diligence studies at the 14-acre city industrial site. We found out we had originally proposed to do the due diligence studies as well as prepare construction plans and actually grade the site for a 100,000 square foot pad. And what we found out was you have to have these due diligence studies completed before you can even ask to get money for construction. Now, I will tell you that we were very favorably received when we presented in Nashville for the construction project, but we were just out of step. So We solicited proposals, or requests for qualifications from 4 environmental firms. 2 responded. We looked at those and deemed that the firm of S&ME was the most qualified. And that's for several reasons. They've done a ton of these, especially for Tennessee Department of Economic Community Development, site development projects. They also have done 2 projects, at least for the county. They did the State Route 111 Industrial Park. They did all of the due diligence studies for that. That helped us get to be the first site selected in Tennessee as a certified industrial site under the site development program. They also did, when the county thought they were going to purchase and develop the Nelson Tract just half mile down the road, they also did the same studies there. So they're very familiar with the county and location. Gave us a good price, $31,800. This grant is a 90-10, so what I'm asking tonight is to have you all authorize the mayor to proceed with the contract with S&ME for $31,800 and also approve the grant amount of $3,180.
Excuse me, 3,000 what?
$3,180, 10% of the contract amount.
And do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Okay, we have a motion by Bill Linder, Alderman Bill Linder, and a second by Alderman David Lankford. All in favor? All opposed? Like sign, motion passed.
I will forward you the contract and get your signature and get it back to the consultants.
Okay. Thank you, Ray.
On the Court Square project, there was some concern at the last downtown revitalization meeting about it running into Christmas because it's so late. Are we going to delay it to next spring or something?
I suspect that because of that, I suspect that we will probably bid it in December and then have it start in late winter, early spring. This will be it won't be terribly weather sensitive, so I think we could do that. Now, I would caution that prom on the square next year might be in jeopardy with the construction, because if it could go into May or June. And so we don't want those type of activities going on in a construction area. But I think we can totally avoid any disruption of what we do in Christmas. Okay.
I've got one more question. The South Church project, I know it's a big project, and I'll get my biscuit and drive through there every morning and see our city workers doing their job, and I commend them for the job they do. What is the time frame again on this project? Because I know it's going to look really good when it gets done.
So, Bruce, it was initially about 6 months ago.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
We sit in this room and had some of the most optimistic meetings with every player around the table. It just wasn't that easy. I mean, when you start digging underground and you find things that you didn't know.
I go through there and they're working every day, and it's
So the city has approved a contract with Rogers Group to do the asphalt removal and the paving, and that is supposed to start end of October.
That ain't gonna happen. Is it gonna happen?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Now there's the post office is involved.
Oh, okay.
So making the final tie-ins to the post office is electrifying everything down through there is subject to also tying into the post office and electrifying the post office.
Okay.
So Now, I've actually told you a bit more than I truly know about what's going on, but that's as I understand it.
So this is, where's the end date? We don't know, but
Well, now, in the last meeting, Curtis informed us, the DRC, which I'm no longer a member of, so. But Curtis said he hoped to get the paving started by October the 1st.
And be finished by the 23rd. I'm trying to remember those dates, but that,
I don't know.
Maybe that sounds
He
right.
didn't give us a finish
Yeah.
date. He said, but he hoped to have it started by, well, now, but hope to have it started October the 1st.
well, and the good news is Rogers Group has the wherewithal and the experience to get in and get out in a hurry.
it's going to look really good for our community, and it's going to add a lot to our,
I drove,
The looks, yeah.
I hadn't been by there in a while. I drove by earlier today. Just having those pedestrian lights along the sidewalk and the sidewalk has made a big difference.
just had a question.
Anything else?
Shannon?
So I have a couple other things for the Downtown Revitalization Committee. So today is Gene's birthday, so if he's watching, happy birthday, Gene. So he asked that I handle a few things for him. So first of all, the two things I have for Downtown Revitalization will need to be approved by this board. So the first thing, due to Arno being elected and to hold an alderman seat, it's going to require him to step away from that committee. So that opened up a new seat on the Downtown Revitalization Committee. And our committee is recommending that he be replaced with Kendall Phillips. Jean has had a conversation with her, and she is willing to serve as long as the board is on board with that.
I'll make that motion.
Well, thank you, Bruce.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed? Like sign, motion passed.
Okay. So secondly, we had the opportunity to apply for a tourism enhancement grant. This grant was developed to help communities improve their tourism assets and increase tourism-related economic impact. There was $100,000 up for grabs, and I mean, just to be real, we probably should have came to y'all with this in early August, but it came across my desk a little late, and the deadline to apply for this was August the 23rd, and we spoke with the State Tourism Department along with the UCDD to determine what we could potentially do downtown to apply for this grant. It was up to $100,000 that we could request, and the State Tourism Department recommended that due to all of the improvements we have done downtown, that it would be best to apply for a downtown wayfinding signage program. Now, my intent was to bring a picture of what some of these signs could potentially look like, and I ran off and left it on the printer at the office. But these signs are very tastefully done. Lori has seen them, and they would, hang on just a minute, let me find I can get my notes. That $100,000 would include a study to determine where these signs would be placed. It would include design, fabrication, and installation. We are hoping to be able to include some signage on the bypass at the four-way to point people downtown. As you all know, downtown Livingston gets missed often because it seems that Google Maps likes to send people down the bypass instead of through our town. And a lot of businesses, potential business gets missed because of that. So it will definitely allow our businesses down on the side streets to have more visibility, and it will increase traffic to those side streets, Central Park, other places downtown that are sometimes being left out because people don't realize, especially people that aren't from here, they don't realize that those businesses are there. Now, this grant does require a 10% match. The Downtown Revitalization Committee has recommended that the match be covered out of the DRC funds that is set aside specifically for enhancing tourism on our downtown. That would be $10,000 out of our downtown fund. And we should be scheduled, Phyllis, you haven't got that number. I don't want you to tell me if you have, but we should have that number later this month, right? Okay.
You guys have some questions for Shannon, or? Rex, did you hear what?
I'm not sure that I know really what you're
That's why I really would,
going to.
hang on. We're gonna fix this. I have them on my phone, if y'all want to just, I can show y'all real quick something similar. These signs were done in downtown Huntsville, Alabama. And basically what it'll do, it will help to guide people to the chamber, to City Hall, to Central Park, show them where additional shopping is, say down South Church Street, or down North Church, or even down Broad for that matter. Hopefully this will help a little bit. But it's basically directional signage that will help the people who are here vacationing, tourists, know where more shopping is, more dining and things like that.
Sorry, that
That
got
helps.
distracted there. Is there a certain style that they're going for? I might have missed that part. Like one of
Well-
those signs, one of those examples.
That particular sign that I just showed you, it'll be very similar to that, but it will be more with our tourism branding. And of course, there is, you know, they'll design this for us, and the city will be involved in those designs as well.
I make a motion, we approve that.
Okay.
But now, those in the picture, they're too big to put over going down Church Street. Wouldn't it be
Well,
more prominent to get,
That's why
like
we're.
in all the other little towns?
That
the
is
ones
why
with the
we're
corn?
doing, that's why the company that handles the signage, that's why they're going to come in and do a study to determine, you know, how big the signs need to be in certain areas. So some areas will require a larger sign than others.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Rex Dale and a second by Alderman Linder. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Like sign, motion passed.
Shannon,
Okay.
I just want to say, now that I'm not on it, people in town do not realize how many millions of dollars has been funneled through the DRC to help improve downtown. Of course, the biggest was the Central Park.
Right.
Now we got the courthouse, we got Church Street, and my thanks to y'all for working so hard to get these grants for us. They take a long time.
They do.
3 times as long as what TDOT tells you, but that's the way life
True.
goes.
True. We might have, if we are successful on this grant, we may have it done in 2 years. We'll see. So I do have some chamber updates as well. I've been pretty good to y'all and not been lengthy the last few meetings, and sometimes I've not even come up, but I have some things to share tonight. So the State Department of Tourism, we have been allocated $95,000 for a tourism recovery grant, and I think y'all have heard me talk about that before. So we have spent half of that money so far. That money was allocated to add some plugins to our website that make it more functional and more of a more of a tourism website and allow for a better visitor experience. So it pulls all data for our businesses locally from, well, for our events and our businesses from Google, Facebook, and Eventbrite. So as far as the event side of things, it's going to, if you put your event, if a business or an organization is having an event, and they add it to Facebook, Google, or Eventbrite, it automatically pulls to our website. So as long as businesses and organizations are doing their due diligence to advertise their events, it's going to show up on our website. So if it's happening in Overton County, you can go to discoverlivingston10.com and it'll show you. Also, from a business standpoint, it pulls all the business information from Google. So I would strongly encourage all of our businesses and organizations in Livingston to make sure that their Google business profile is up to date with good photography. I've got some work ahead of me where this is concerned, because I'm sure people don't realize right now how important it is to have a good Google business profile. So if you're not real sure how to handle it, people can call and schedule an appointment with me, and I'm happy to go over it with them. We are going to start doing Google workshops at the chamber soon to teach people how to set up their Google business profile and to do it in a way that is going to help their business be successful. We've also been doing some Google ads. They sent me the links to those Google ads today, and they're absolutely beautiful. They look great. And I'm looking forward to getting some really good data out of visitors to our website and people who are going to our website using these, from these Google ads that are popping up. And I think they've got them on, I know they have them on YouTube as well. So lots of great things happening there from a tourism standpoint, and hope to continue to increase our tourism expenditures. Now, that being said, we got our 2023 tourism expenditures numbers from the state today. And we still have lots of room to improve. However, our direct visitor economic impact for 2023 was $7,735,000 in 2023. That, on average, is $21,192 a day, and that is just tourism expenditures. We are currently ranked 81 in the state out of 95 counties. I'm not real thrilled with that. However, in 2022 we were ranked 83. We've moved up a little. So, my goal is I'd love to see us around 50 at least, so that's something we can work on. The year-over-year change, we increased that spending by 6.41%. So those are fairly good numbers. I'm happy with those numbers for the moment, and hope to continuously see them increase as we are able to do more marketing and tourism efforts for the city and the county. And lastly, I'm going to run through some events that are coming up. So Saturday, September 7th at 11 a.m., we're having a grand opening and ribbon cutting with Cornicello, I never can say that right, in Rickman. They recently relocated to 210 Tommy Dodson Highway to serve our community better with a larger space, and I'm sure they would love to see everybody there at 11 a.m. on Saturday. We are having a tourism branding meeting on October the 3rd and 4th. This is on our Facebook page and our website, so this is open to anyone in the community that would like to be a part of this tourism branding session. Now, this is not necessarily for Overton County completely, but it is our Upper Cumberland Tourism Association. They are going through a rebranding right now, and they want all chambers, all municipalities, everybody in the Upper Cumberland area who depends on or works with a tourism asset to be present, to have a say in the direction that our region goes with their tourism branding. And again, that's the third and the fourth. One, I can't remember right off the top of my head. One of them's at the Chamber, and one of them is over at Iron and Oak, but there are more details online. So all of you are invited to attend. Then, oh yeah, this one I'm pretty excited about. So we are partnering with the Kids Closet on South Church Street to do a kids business fair at Central Park. This will be held on October the 12th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is for kids only, ages 18 and below. So we're giving these young folks time to come and explore entrepreneurship, and they will be selling their own products, whatever it may be. Of course, a parent can be there to help them, but they essentially run the booth themselves. They are currently taking not applications, but you can get a vendor spot for $25. And all of the information to register is online, also on Facebook, on our website. Kids Closet is pretty much handling all of the applications, so you can even go by there and register at the store during their business hours. And lastly, just a reminder that we are starting to plan for Halloween, and it is October the 26th. We are doing our haunted walking tours again. Looking at adding a fall market at Central Park during that day as well. So there'll be a few new things added to Halloween this year, and I will have all registration information out by end of business day tomorrow. And that's all. Do y'all have any questions? Very busy.
Thank you, Shannon.
You're welcome.
And I echo what Arno has said about the DRC, because it's been a really good thing for Livingston.
Absolutely. It definitely has been. Thank y'all.
Okay, thank you. Ray, did you have something else?
Forgetting, and then to follow up on something that Shannon said, recall that as we got the state sales tax reimbursements every year, about $140,000 of that went to First National Bank to repay our loan. Ms. Phyllis, I think I'm right that we repaid our full loan this year. So this coming, in a few weeks, we should be getting a check. You know, it was over $500,000 last year. I suspect it will be that or more this year. That will go 100% to the work of the Downtown Revitalization Committee and the board. So we will have $135,000, $140,000 more to spend on bricks and mortar, et cetera, than we've had in the past. I think I mentioned last meeting that Livingston had been selected by Tennessee Department of Transportation for a traffic signal modernization program. The state traffic folks are supposed to be in town next week or the following week to do an inventory. And so that just to let you know, if you see some TDOT trucks on the square and the control box open and folks messing around inside there, that's what that will be about. I think they'll coordinate with Chief Dial to get in the box and know where all the equipment and such is. Recall that in 2014, 15, when we did our crosswalks, et cetera, we took the initiative at that time to put in all the conduit and all the pull boxes for the future pedestrian signal. So we won't be tearing up anything in and around the the square. They'll simply be pulling cable and putting up pedestrian pedestals and push buttons and such. So look forward to that project proceeding forward.
Hey,
Thank-
Ray, our grant runs, if I think I'm correct, Phyllis, it runs out next year, right? 25?
27, I think.
27 now? Good.
I think it
Have
started in 07, and it goes through.
20 years, right. Have you heard any talk about them maybe extending that grant?
There was a state representative from West Tennessee who represents one of the 6 counties who tried diligently last year to get it extended indefinitely, and it died in committee.
Oh.
And I don't know of any efforts now that, before the legislature to do. Now, I have heard from several other counties who are very envious of the 6 counties and want to know how they can participate in the program. Well, you know, the program is what it is. There's no way for anyone else to participate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Next on our agenda was supposed to be Allison Hudson, but she had a family emergency and is going to try to get, someone will be here, whether it's her or someone else from Magnolia River, next board meeting. So next, let's move on to item number 3, which is property maintenance update with Walter Rutherford and Beth Stevens. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Walter. Okay, next on the agenda is the hospital security agreement, and Chief Smith, will you come and give us an update on that, please?
Good evening, Mayor, Board Alderman. We have for a long time been a part of LRH and the security program that they have over there with the needs and all that they had for a long time, and we have put great effort toward that. You have received a letter of the MOU and a letter that went out. When taking the position as Chief of Police in Livingston, it was a great concern to myself about taking on the extra responsibilities besides just what we already had. That program was already started and already going along. I met with Mayor Hayes beforehand. We met with the hospital and had talks about what could we do to enhance and try to keep someone over there. So they upped the pay and we went out looking for folks. We had great success in the beginning to get somebody to come and help us be a part of that program. At this time, it was brought to my attention again, I had a gentleman that was retiring and another one wanting to transfer out and another one that was actually leaving the law enforcement job. So you start a little bit and you're going back. But my real job is to make sure the citizens of Livingston is protected by road police and make sure we can answer calls. I can't take anybody off of that, and I found that was a great strain to our department of itself. When the hospital was making payments to us to cover that, I came to the mayor and mayor-elect at that time and spoke with them about the situation. We made an agreement to go over and speak with the hospital, and we did. Mr. Tim McGill told them of our problems and the crossroads that we came to. We read over our MOU and came to the agreement of a letter that was written by our attorney. The attorney has sent the letter over. It's been placed in Tim McGill's hands, and we're asking for a separation from LRH, continue for the contract time and what it asks for, and then separate from it. By using that word of separation does not mean that we're walking off and leaving our great hospital. We're there on call. You call us, they're going to call us, we continue. We're going back to what we used to do, and they call and come over there. I did know and have been told that they are looking at a security company. We're still going to do our job for them. We're still going to try our best to protect them and do everything we can. I just don't have the manpower to set somebody over there 12 hours on a shift 7 days a week. Unfortunately, the look in law enforcement ain't as great as it used to be. There ain't a lot of folks out there that wants to come and be a part of that job. It's a selected few, and it's becoming a few and far in between, and it's such a hard effort to do so. I found it put us in jeopardy, and it found that it was sending money out that we was not able to accrue or get because of not having no one there. Mr. McGill understood. I didn't want to take the man's money or the hospital's money and not have somebody there to continue the work that needed to be done. For my job and the safety of that, I felt that it was a situation this time to have a separation and have a real talk. It was time to move on. Yep. And I'm asking the board to accept the letter that was written and accept the terms in the MOU at this time to separate after 60 days.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a
I'll
motion.
second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Bill Linder and a second by Arno Proctor. Any questions? Okay.
Did he pay us by the year to have a policeman down there, or did he pay us monthly?
We would send out a bill to them at completion.
No, monthly.
Monthly, okay, of the time then, yes.
Okay. Do we have to pay any penalty or anything to get out?
We do not at this time, no.
Okay. So he will more or less just quit paying us? Would be done?
Yes, yes. Yep.
So 60 days from today or from when
Yes.
the letter was
It'd
written?
be the end of October, 1st of November. And like we told Mr. McGill, if you have any problem, Mr. McGill, we're still here. We are still here. We're not going nowhere. It's just, it saves them the money, but we're still got to go do a job over there. And anything that calls, they're going to call us. We're going to go over there. We're still going to do walkthroughs. We're not leaving these folks behind. It's just not fair to take a man's money, and if you can't provide him with the services that you're telling him you're going to provide him with.
Any other questions? Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Like sign, motion passed.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is appointment of Nathan Dell to our Board of Zoning Appeals. Cynthia Simmons had to step down from this position, and I'm recommending Nathan Dell to the board.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Got a second? All in favor? All opposed? Like sign, motion passed. Welcome to the board, Nathan.
Mayor, one thing. We tend to use these acronyms, BZA. I had no idea what that was. So I looked it up and found out. But it would be nice if we would put in the minutes, or as we're on recording, like you did. You did state what it was, really. But that makes a big difference to, the people out there that don't deal with this every day.
Right, well, we'll make sure that
Thank you.
happens going forward, so. Okay, next on the agenda is to appoint Lori Richards to the Planning Commission. We received a letter from Matilda Speck saying that she could no longer serve on the Planning Commission, and she's been very valuable to the Planning Commission for many, many years. So we thank her for her service. Lori is not here tonight, but she has accepted to be on the board of the Planning Commission this week. So if anyone has any questions, or if anyone wants to make a motion. Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Lankford and a second by Alderman Bruce Elder. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, like sign, motion passed. Okay. Next on the agenda because we're all new here, we have to elect us a new vice mayor. So we're missing a few people and adding a few valuable people to our board. So at this time, I'm going to open up for nominations for vice mayor to begin starting tonight. Do I have a motion?
I'll make one. I'll nominate Rexdale.
Okay, we have a nomination of Rexdale for vice mayor by Lance Rubel, and a second by Bruce Elder. Any comments or? Okay, I think.
Well, does he want it?
Yeah, it would be a great honor.
Yeah, I guess
especially
that's a good
following
question.
Ken and Bill Winningham. So, yeah, I would definitely be honored to do it.
Okay, at this time, we're going to take a vote, and we'll do it by roll call. Ms. Phyllis.
Alderman Langford,
Yes.
Alderman Linder,
Yes.
Alderman Proctor,
Yes.
Alderman Rubel,
Yes.
Alderman Dale,
Yes.
Alderman Elder.
Absolutely.
Motion passed.
Okay, motion passed. We have an unanimous, a unanimous vote. So Rexdale will be our new vice mayor.
Thank you.
So congratulations. Okay, the next and final thing on the agenda are, with that being said, we need to have names on our bank signature cards. So those names would be Rex Dale as vice mayor, and I guess I need to make a motion for our third person. So do we have a motion for someone to be our third signature, a nomination for somebody to be our third person for signature on our cards, on our bank accounts?
I make a motion to make Bill Linder.
Okay, we have a motion from Bruce Elder to make Bill Linder our third signature, and a second by David Langford. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Like sign, motion passes. Okay, so on the signature card, it will be myself, Rex, and Bill. So, okay. Any other business? Alderman? Okay. Otherwise, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second? Okay. There we go. Meeting adjourned.